When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway.
Hi everyone, Josh Maddie here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys can see, I have a special guest. Introduce yourself.
I'm Ari.
So I've had a couple of comments on the Vroom video, buying a car with Vroom, to do like a follow-up video, and actually someone recognized us at Home Depot or something, and they're like, hey, did you buy that car on Vroom? So I thought it'd be a really cool idea to do a follow-up video 2 years later. So I wrote down some stuff to like talking points as far as like pros, cons, and things specific to this vehicle that we purchased. The first thing I'll go through are some of the pros. It was a really easy process. All of it was done online. There's a large selection, and it was contactless. So for Corona time right now, if you have to get a car because the world's still turning, Vroom is a really viable option. And they have so much stock that you kind of get exactly what you want. You just have to like go through all of the stuff online and get what you want. What were some of the cons, Aaron?
Some of the cons for me is that you have to rely on their pictures online, and there may be instances where there's damage or something that you can't see in the pictures, so you're taking that chance when it gets here. And then you have to ask lots of questions. I think I called them like once or twice to make sure they included the right charger so I could charge it at home. So you kind of put a lot up to chance when they ship it that everything's okay when it gets here. But they seem pretty reliable.
Yeah, I think with a different type of car, so we'll go into specifics on this car, because it's electric with an engine. It came with its own set of debacles. I think if it was just a regular gas engine car, it would have been a lot simpler. But because of the car being electric with an engine, we had to try to get an emissions test here, and that turned into a huge debacle. But I think Aaron said that he got some kind of special sticker.
So, oh my gosh, I took this car to Jiffy Lube, and I'm like, they're telling me they need an emissions test, but I don't even know what their engine is in here. So it took like 7 people huddle around my car, and they're like, this car doesn't, the engine's so small, it doesn't even meet the requirements in New Mexico for emissions test. So they gave me like a sticker, and every time I get my registration renewed, I just showed them my sticker, and then they just get rid of the emissions requirement.
That's pretty cool. As far as like the buying process, I felt like it took a really long time, but that's because Aaron's very picky with everything. So he like, everything's like really important that it happens a certain way. And I remember taking pictures of stuff and like taking videos of stuff and emailing it to him. There was a fax option, but we chose to do everything through email, which I thought was a really cool addition to this process. But I felt like there was a lot of emailing.
If you're in a rush, this is not a good option because there is like a week time where you're just waiting. You know, like it'll give you like a little meter, like when you ordered a pizza, and it's like your car is still here, it's been shipped. And there's like a time period of like a week where it's like your car has been shipped, and it's like no updates. And then finally they let me know it's like it's in your state now, and you're like, okay, that's great.
I think we found out like right after work, because I remember being very sleepy, and because I used to work nights, and I came home and Aaron's like, it's on its way. So I'm like running outside trying to film it. We'll insert a video here. When it arrived on a pallet, so that was really cool. The guy pulled it off and everything for us and drove it up to the garage, and Aaron's just like super happy. So that was like a nice process. We didn't have to worry about getting everything rushed over from one car to another. But because of that, it led to like insurance was like pretty easy to get, I think. Insurance was pretty painless, but there was a lot of stuff that came with this car. This is my very personal opinion, speaking only for myself, but I had a BMW and it was on a pallet every time that it got something wrong with it. And what was it? A BMW?
3 Series Coupe?
Yeah, it was cute. But every time something happened to it, the electricity went out, like the electrical went out, it started smoking, and I had barely even had this car a couple days. So I will never drive another BMW.
This is my 4th BMW. And I just know that if when you purchase a BMW, you just have to expect things to go wrong, expect expensive fixes. It's just a trade-off because they're so fun to drive. You just have to trade off.
So that's Mop. She hears us talking. So the battery was one thing. I think there was a few issues with the battery. They ended up replacing it.
Oh, so there's been at least 3 instances where the battery has just died. The regular small battery died, and you couldn't even open the car because everything's just electronic. So it was bricked in the parking garage at work, so I had to get it towed out of the garage.
Then you were turning in one day and the tire popped.
The tire just popped. I didn't even hit a curb or anything. It just popped on the road.
They're like this wide.
And they literally I called, and they're like, there's no tires like that within 1,500 mile radius. So they had to order a tire, and it was just sitting at the dealership for like a couple days while they ordered it.
It seems like this car's been in the shop a whole lot. He had like a Z4 or something, like a Roadster. That one was in there for like maintenance and like oil changes and stuff, but this one seems like it's in there a lot. And I think one of the things that's kind of annoying with it is that they have to like fly in or like bus in, I don't know, get a special technician to work on it because you have to be certified to work on the iVehicles. And we don't have a lot of them here. So that's like one thing, and we had to wait. Thank God we have like 2 cars in our household, because if not, it would have been like very difficult. So the special tech, the windshield broke. I remember one time it broke.
The windshield broke, and then I took it in, and then Safelight's like, oh, we actually ordered the wrong windshield. That's another windshield that we have to wait like a week.
Because they're huge, and they have like tech inside of them, and they have defroster things inside of them or something. Like it's a really crazy process to get a windshield. Back in the day, and even on my car, I'm like... I'm kind of scared to get a new windshield because it's so costly. And then for the repairs, I know the little engine inside has messed up because it only turns on once you run out of power. So I guess the gasoline was left too long, and the engine that turns on, it's like a range extender. Let me get this dog. Come on.
This video is not about me, so I'm going to interrupt it.
This is my 3rd guest. Her name is Mop. She means to be part of everything. But what were we saying? Oh, the range extender. So it's like this little engine that you get, and it comes on when your battery's at a certain percentage, and it comes on. It doesn't drive the car transmission or anything. It's a charger, gasoline based. So I guess because his engine never went on, the gas went bad because there was no treatment in it. So it turned into this huge process where they had to charge him to drain the gas out, charge him to do all this extra setting, and then charge him all these charges to get the car working. And then it came home, and we're all, let's test it. And I'm like, okay. And it's the middle of the night. It's cold. Mops is with us because we're God knows where. And it wouldn't go on. And we had like 10 miles, and we lived 15 miles away. So we pulled over at a gas station. We had to get a pallet to come tow it. And then they couldn't find the screw thing to tow it up. So they kind of just like drove it on the thing because it still had a little bit of power left. If not, I don't know how we would have been able to get it pulled onto that pallet. Because like everything's so specific and wonky with this car. Like it's super unique, and it's really fun to drive because it goes quick. I think this is like one of the coolest cars. Like it has all these features that it can park itself, and it knows where all the little gas station or charging stations are. And I think you can charge it at work for free, right? I
can charge it at work, and it has like an app that you can control everything. You can pre-cool it and preheat it, which is really nice while it's really sitting in a parking lot.
So it's a really cool car. I think it's cool. And mops can fit in there. It's got a lot of room, like I said. So personally, pros and cons, I'd give this car like an 80 because Erin likes it so much. 80 out of 100. What would you give it? Honestly.
I would give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's my favorite car I purchased. It is expensive to fix, and it is in the shop a lot, but it's so fun to drive. It's unique. It still gets lots of looks. Yeah. I like the way it looks. It looks like Tron.
Yeah, it looks like the Metal Man from Tron.
It's really fun to drive, so I like it a lot.
Yeah, so buyer beware or buyer have fun. I mean, I think if you got just like a regular car, like a gasoline car, it would be a great option. And I think they do trade-ins, they do evaluations. Well, so I was going to trade in mine, but...
What score would you give Vroom?
Vroom overall, I think... because it was a lot. It just seemed like a lot of work that they were doing. Like, we were inconvenienced, but that was their job. Like, it was a lot of stuff that they had to do. I'd give them a solid 9 out of 10. 90 out of 100, 9 out of 10. because they did a lot of work for us, and they just were asking, hey, can you give me a picture of this? Can you give me a picture of this? Can you give me a picture of this? It wasn't that bad. I think just because of the specific car we've had through them, it was a lot more. Okay, well, thanks so much for watching, guys. We're going to put up some more videos soon, both of us just acting a fool together, and see what happens. Don't forget to comment.
Our next review is going to be on Mops here after your review.
A year on having a retro pug. She has a tattoo. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I love you guys so much. 안녕.